potential solutions. There are answers.
One company has figured out how to lower healthcare costs by more than 40%.
We provide incentives for people to engage in healthier behaviors.
The Army Surgeon General directed that we establish the Pain Management Task Force to take a look at alternatives to narcotics.
I was skeptical, so skeptical.
I've gotten a lot of inspiration, a different perspective. There's a different way of doing things that is.
Okay, so you saw the vet that was in the wheelchair, the veteran. The documentary Escape from Fire was amazing. What they did and what's going on with all these medications is we're using pills for everything, and the antibiotics. And example for this veteran, what his story was is that he was depressed and had a lot of anxiety and post-traumatic stress from things he saw during the war. And so they put him on an anti-anxiety medicines, and they put him on antidepressant medications. And these pain pills for his back, because when he had to carry his back, pack up the mountains, his back hurt and he was sore, and so they give him muscle relaxants and pain pills. All of these medications had side effects like constipation from the pain medication and heartburn from some of the other medications, and so they give him a prescription to combat those side effects like Dulcolax, or they would give him another pill for heartburn or dizziness, and then he'd be too tired to wake up in the morning, and then they'd have to give him an upper and a pill to go to sleep, and he ended up with all those pills, and he was so sick he couldn't even get out of the wheelchair. And when they took him off every bit of the medications, they made him whole again by doing alternative medications, like having group therapy conversations and seeing a counselor, and doing exercises for his back and helping him get his strength, and just getting on a regular routine. And that's really what Escape from Fire is all about, is that these medications that people are taking in the activity is causing bad health, worse health than if you weren't taking medications. And you saw how Safeway had reduced their companies, their whole corporation's healthcare costs was cut by 40% by allowing their employees to have access to exercise and healthy routines. And I know all of this insurance stuff, you're like, what can I do about it? But what the key is really living right, and that's the true health reform, is not taking as much health medications and being more healthy physically. And this next documentary that she's going to bring up is all about how you can eat. These doctors in Escape from Fire with the pills, they even did studies on cancer, and they found out that they could turn cancer on and off with diet. And your diet is more important than anything, the food you eat, more what you eat. That this Forks Over Knives is the name of the next documentary that you can pull up and watch at home if you're more interested. But this is a short clip that will explain a lot of it.
The average American now carries 23 extra pounds.
Heart disease and stroke will claim the lives of 460,000 American women.
We're talking about diabetes and hypertension, and bone diseases, osteoporosis.
69 grams of fat. You could actually save 12 grams of the fat and half the calories if you simply ate an entire stick of butter.
Food. It's central to our lives and traditions. Every special occasion seems to involve food and feasting. But could some of these same foods, including several that we think are good for our health, also be causing many of our most serious health problems? Indeed, we're facing a massive health crisis. No less than 40% of Americans today are obese, and about half of us are taking some form of prescription drug.
Someone has to stand up and say that the answer isn't another pill. The answer is spinach.
A growing number of researchers claim that if we eliminate or greatly reduce refined, processed, and animal-based foods, we can prevent, and in certain cases even reverse, several of our worst diseases. They say all we need to do is adopt a whole foods, plant-based diet. It sounds almost too simple to be true.
The best way I felt to get
Does anybody in the class have anybody in your family that's diabetic? There's two kinds of diabetics. You can have a type 1 that needs insulin and type 2 that just needs, and that's the kind of shot that they give. And the other one is just one that you take pills. But Intermountain Healthcare, and that's the corporation I work for, did a study and found the high risks, people that are going to get diabetes or pre-diabetic. It all starts out with being overweight, which she said the average American carries 23 extra pounds. And, you know, it's just the way we eat and our convenience. We're so busy. And it's just the way our trends are here in the United States, where they had the two doctors that studied and found out in certain parts of the country they have absolutely no prostate cancer, no breast cancers. And they studied what the difference is, and what the difference is the diet. It all has to do with the diet. And so, do you guys all understand what the documentary talked about whole foods, what that is, and plant-based foods? That's the best way to eat. There's the next one on here that has a little, it's a PowerPoint. And if you scroll through it, yeah, you can get that to come up. You might have to copy and paste it if it won't open in the browser. But it shows the study. They had over 1,000 people that they found on the insurance company that were high risk of getting diabetes, and brought them in and gave them some education, and found that out of that 1,000 people, 54 were able to lose 5% of their weight, and that helps to reduce, and then they up their activity, but that helps to blow the cholesterol out of their veins, and because diabetes leads to heart disease and amputations of limbs and really bad sores, and it can get, you can go blind. There's just, it's the start of a lot of diseases, but the biggest thing is that it's reversible if you catch it in time and do the right things. And out of that, 54 people lost the 5% of weight. They were able, they figured diabetes cost per person $8,000 a year. So out of those 54 people, it saved our corporation actually $200,000 in 1 year. And so that's okay. That's my point, is just that that's another thing with health reform, is the biggest health reform is just eating right and being active. And also on the video, did you see how the doctor said if I spend 15 minutes with it, or 45 minutes with the patient, I only get paid $15. And if I go in and do a heart catheterization, I make $1,500. And so there was actually one patient that had had 17 heart catheterizations, and they never ever taught her how to exercise or eat better. They just happened to come back for more of these procedures. And I think my biggest takeaway from this policy and politics class is that I read, and it scared me to death as being a nurse for 30 years, is that every 6 months in healthcare, we kill more people than died in Vietnam War with medical errors. Doctors and pharmacists and nurses all do their very best to do the very best thing, but we're human and we make mistakes. But that's the chances you take when you have to go to the pharmacy and you have to go to the hospital. There's chance for human error, and so the best thing to do is just not go. Try to be healthy. And And that's my spiel for you guys today for health reform. I hope you learned a little bit and understand a little bit